Hey everybody, this is Sisi and super excited to share with you my latest trend report for the week of December 5th, and things are looking great. The interest rates have gone down and keep on going down. It looks like the mortgage companies are trying to incent us to buy because it's cyclically a slow cycle right now. Anytime from November all the way to January, it's a little bit slow, so they're enticing us with lower rates in order to buy now. And so what are we looking at? Well, number one, it looks like the condo market is holding at an 8% interest rate, which is 0 points and 20% down. And the single family home is at a 7.3%. And that's coming from my buddy, Kevin Sumimoto, over at the Kailua office in guaranteed rate. So what do we have going on? Well, you know what? Out of the 10 sales that happened for our company last week, it looks like 2 of them, one in Mililani at around 800,000 and the other one in Kailua over 2 million, got over asking. So I know you guys don't believe me ever when I say there are still people out there that are buying property that are over asking, but they are a specific type of profile. Usually it's single family home, and usually it's in a very desired neighborhood. So I'm going to share that with you, and that's what has sold for past week. Now you'll see that I have a listing in there that sold, and that was my Alki property, which was listed at over 6 million, and it sold for 5.8. Now my client that bought it in 2019, right before COVID, and she bought it for 4.5. This is all public knowledge. And so she has made a tremendous amount of efforts in terms of the property, getting it ready, and it took about a year to get it ready, which I helped along the way with customizing the type of countertops we would choose, figuring out who the contractor would be, and all the vendors along the way. So it's really important, if you are dealing with luxury or even non-luxury, that you have somebody that is going to be able to represent you, that knows different vendors, reliable vendors, and also will be cost effective for you and get the biggest bang for the buck. And I was able to do that in this particular situation. Again, she bought it for 4.5, sold it for 5.8. It took about 4 years with $200,000 worth of investment, with maintenance, as well as reconstructing some of the areas, doing the kitchen and some other areas. So there was some investment into it from her part, but in terms of that huge gain, she really did a good job in terms of where she put her money. So I want to take a look at Kahala from a long-term standpoint, if this is something that you're interested in. Now, you investors out there, I know you're savvy, but I'll just remind those of us that don't know as much, when you invest a lot in a property, you have more to risk, but also you have more to gain. And $1 million plus is really an incentive. On top of that, this was a foreign buyer, and the currency is very favorable for her rate. And so not only did she gain in terms of the actual dollars, but because the currency is favorable for her country, she's making out even more. So I'm super happy and stoked for my client in terms of that. Now, if you are looking at this from a reel, then make sure to DM me and I will send you the information. And we can look at different properties together so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of your investment. Now, in terms of investment, you've got to know what kind of investor you are. Are you a minimal investment and you want to do lots of properties, or do you want to go big in very few properties? And obviously there's more risk, but there's also less management involved and less headache involved. So there is really a certain level of knowing who you are and how much money you have in terms of a buffer is really important. So let's talk about that and more, and DM me. Let's have some coffee and discuss what your financial goals are in terms of real estate. So for all things mediation real estate, I'm your girl.